Well, good morning, folks. It's Richard the Fishing Machine here. You know, creek fishing has got to be my favorite way to cool down in the summer. There's nothing like wading a beautiful creek to beat the summer heat. But not just wading, of course, but catching some fish, and a lot of them. Today, I'm going to show you a fantastic setup for creek fishing. This setup is great for just about any species that swims in a creek. Now folks, this setup is nothing more than a tiny Ned rig. Let me show you the setup we will be using today. Then I'll demonstrate what makes this tiny Ned rig so deadly. This is the most limberest rod I've ever had in my hand. This is it. It's the length, it says, is 1.8 meter long, and this rod is what I'm talking about. 1.8 meter long. Okay, this rod is as light as a feather, and it came from Timu. My friend Race Costello sent me 2 of these rods, and this particular rod has a very, very fast tilt. It's ultralight. A matter of fact, let me show you. It's rated for 1 to 6 pound test line, and it has it's a 2-piece rod, and this is the name of it. I can't pronounce it, but you might be interested in this rod. I'm just going to hold it up right here, see if y'all can read that right there. Light as a feather. That's 2 pound test mono that I have on it. High vis vicious, and this bait right here, and this is a caddisfly made by Nico, and that's a Palomar knot right there in it, because I believe in a Palomar knot. When it comes to strength on light line, that's my favorite go-to knot. And this is just a little Fluger President reel, the smallest one that they make. Tiny little lightweight outfit, perfect for this creek fishing. Now here's the caddisfly right here. Now this is a mud bug color right here, folks, and there's a lot of different colors. In fact, I believe this one right here is a green pumpkin. I believe that's the color of that one. But that is a size 10 hook into that little bitty jig head right there. Little light jig head. I mean, a lot lighter than a 32nd. I don't know how light it is really, but it's very, very light. Probably about a half of a 1/32 ounce. Okay, so there's my equipment. Perfectly balanced for creek fishing. Woo, it is super hot, folks. I'm talking about super hot. So I'm set up under a shade tree right here, but I believe there's enough lighting for me to demonstrate what I'm talking about when I'm talking about a Ned rig presentation, which I do a lot in these creeks. In these creeks I use a lot of the Aztec baits, especially Z-Man products. I catch a lot of bass on all of their, just about all their finesse products. This is the finesse TRD. This was one of the first ones that I started off years ago fishing with. Very good presentation for creek bass, lake bass. It don't make any difference. Pond bass, river bass, it don't make any difference. This bait right here catches a lot of fish. But the reason why I'm going to start off with this bait is so y'all can understand what I'm talking about. Even with these little bitty presentations, like I use Z-Man products, the smaller ones, and the Nico products when I'm fishing in these creeks. Very important. Presentation is very important. Let's check it out. Okay, folks, right here is the finesse TRD. Little 2.75 bait, excellent for bass. Like I stated, in all conditions. But if you'll look how this Aztec immediately stands up. See how I'm working it on the bottom? Look how it stands straight up. That wiggle that it has right there. Fish can't stand that. This is a very, very great, watch this right here. Okay, see, it'll fold under like I've always said. When you move it, and then it'll stand straight up. Very good action. Now let's look at the Nico bait, the little panfish bait. There's some noise in the background. Maybe y'all can't hear it. But anyway, here's the little Nico bait. Look at there, what a natural looking presentation. But take note how that Elastec type material, which it's not Elastec, it's a little bit tougher than that actually, is standing straight up. The bait will fold, then it'll stand up. Okay, realistic looking action. Now, what I'm going to do now is take a conventional plastic, and I'm going to show you the difference. See how it's at about a 45-degree angle? This is just conventional plastic. It don't make any difference what brand or whatever, who makes it. But it won't stand the bait straight up like Elastec type material will. At times you would prefer this one right here. But most of the time, this Ned rig presentation right here will catch more bass and more panfish in wherever you're fishing, in my opinion. Ooh, that water is cold, folks. Now, I hope y'all, I want y'all to look right here. He's dead, little crawfish. Well, we know there's crawfish in here, don't we? But the water level is way, way low. This happens a lot of times. Not just Tennessee, but Alabama's bad about that too. Real bad about that. And, you know, it's just a natural thing that happens, but really we're so far behind on rainfall right now, it's pitiful. So, I was going to target bass, but I thought there's a little crawfish right here. Here's one. Him's little. Where's he at? Come here, baby. Come here, little. Look here. Look at there, what a little baby. Y'all see him? Now that was littles. Let me describe the heat here in the south. Breathtaking type of humid heat. I mean, it's not been this hot in a long time, folks. Matter of fact, the heat index is 102 right now. So that'll give you some idea. And humidity is terrible. So that's one reason why I love to get in these creeks and cool off. Right now, that I can't tell y'all how good that feels. So good. It does. My goodness. I can't wait till I get in about waist deep water. You know, if you'll notice this right here, these are the only trees right here in this area that's overhanging this creek. Just right here in this area. That's one reason why bluegill, well, all panfish, will get up under these trees. The kind of insects falling off of the branches. That's why it's not just the shade like if it was a sunny day. Of course, right now it's overcasting, but still they'll stay up under here, kind of the insects. Anything that hits the top of the water, they're on it. They're ready. They're programmed to do that. And so this really is a great little pattern. Whoops. Y'all see that? This is really a great little pattern to catch a lot of fish in creeks. There's one right there. Little bitty one. That fish that I just had hooked was a red horsesucker. Sometimes they'll pick these artificials up. Another thing they'll do too on these overcast days like today, they'll come out of those deeper holes and spots and out from under shades a lot of times. to feed. They'll take advantage of this, just like a bass will. Really, a bluegill, shellcracker, long-eared sunfish, red-breast sunfish, spotted sunfish, warmouth, green sunfish, rock bass, all of them have about the same habits as a largemouth bass does, because a largemouth bass is the largest member of the sunfish family. They have about the same habits. Tell you what, folks, that looks good right over there around that tree. I see a lot of flashing going on. That's red horse suckers. But, oh my goodness, hey, y'all be still. Be still, that's a good one right there. Where'd it go? Doggone it. There he is, got him. Got him, folks. I mean, this is a good one right here. This is a good one. Giant shellcracker. Giant shellcracker. I knew that's what he was. He just laying up there. And there he goes. He got back alive again. There's some big shellcracker in this creek. I mean, some huge ones. There's not many, but there's a few. And every once in a while you can get them to bite. This is a big one. Golly. I knew I could find. Now I'm excited. When you can sight fish big old shellcracker like this, you're doing something in my book, or in this part of the country now. Looky there, what a fish. Golly, we gotta take a look at this one. That's a big one. That's all it took to, oh man, that hyped me up. I'm gonna retie my knot after that fish. I want y'all to look what a shellcracker. Beautiful. Look how thick and healthy that fish is. I knew what he was. I just had to make him mad enough to bite or get him interested. And this bait right here, I'm not trying to sell y'all Nico baits, because I don't let nobody sponsor me. I'm sponsored by Elmo. But that bait right there, catch them. I'm just being honest. Now, folks, I want y'all to look. What a big red ear. Huge, huge red ear. These creeks, man, I tell you, I've caught some big ones in this particular creek right here. But it's been a while since I've been here to this one and fished specifically for red ears, but that's a big one right there. What it is, with these glasses I have, these red ears will show up a light color, almost white, and there's no doubt about it, you know, that it's a red ear. That's just how they show up. It's what they look like with these glasses on. But let's let him go. Let's let him go. He'll go on back out there. He darkened up when I brought him out of the water. But they glow. They just glow white. Man, that was fun. That made it worth it. Just that one big red ear like that. What we're going to do is we're just going to keep fishing. I'm not quitting now. Another good thing about this, folks, is you can beat the heat like this. I mean, I was hot and humid right there showing y'all that fish burning up. Now I'm in here about knee deep, and that quick I cooled off. So, I mean, it's you can't beat that. But that light jig head is what's doing it. Watch this right here, if y'all can see it. Okay, it hit the water. See how slow that fall rate is? Very, very slow. That's what you want in skinny water. I mean, this is real, real shallow water. Golly. My. What do we got to hope to right here? This is a good one, folks. I believe we got another big shellcracker right here. I believe this is another big, this is the second biggest big shellcracker I've caught. Yeah, this is a giant. Look how hard these fish pull. Y'all seeing this? Oh my. They got the power. They have, especially in these creeks like this. They're always having, this is a monster. Golly, y'all seeing this? My goodness. That is a big one right there. This fish is fighting. I can't tell y'all how that, and look at that rod right there, how it's bowed. That's the fun of fishing. To me, that's the fun of fishing. But we're gonna have to get somewhere. I gotta show y'all. This is a big fish right here. Look at that. That'll make that other shellcracker look like a baby. This is a big son of a gun right here. I'll tell y'all what, folks. Look at there, what a shellcracker. Now that is a big shellcracker right there. No doubt. And I'm going to tell you, it's been a while since I've fished with the Nico caddisfly, but this bait right here has caught me some big shellcracker. There's something about it. Or redear or sunfish, whatever y'all want to call them. But what a tough mouth. That is a big shellcracker for a creek situation like this in real clear water. I didn't expect that. I've been seeing the fish, seeing these shellcracker, the ones that I've caught, but I didn't see that. Didn't see that one at all. I just made a blind cast and he hit it. What a catch. To me, that's a good, look at that. To me, that's something special. For a creek situation, yeah. For this part of the country, I know it's different everywhere else, but for here, yeah, that's a big one. Let's let him go. Let's let him go. That is a big fish. Go on back, boy. He's mad. And that's not by accident. The fact of the matter is, there's no telling how many big shellcracker are up and down this creek right here. There's not. Only a small percentage of fish will actually bite, folks. And that's a fact. I used to know that number, but I forgot it. I used to say it all the time, but just a small percentage of fish will actually strike a lure, especially an artificial bait. But, man, what a blessing. To me, that's nothing but a blessing. That fish give me all I wanted on this type of tackle I'm using. You know, dark colors on days like today, or not just days like today, but, you know, just for panfish in general, I catch a lot more fish on the darker colors, and that's just me, folks. This is called the mud bug, and it's just a dark brown color. It's just a real natural looking color, and it just seems like I catch a lot of fish on that color. Solid center black is a good one. Green pumpkin is always a good color. There's a fish right behind that. Get it, boy. There he is. Golly. Pretty fish, though. Oh, my goodness. That's probably about as big a one as I've ever caught. That's a long-ear sunfish, folks. I thought it was a red breast, which I've been catching a lot of those. But look at the colors on that fish. Beautiful little fish. They don't get much bigger than that. I may have caught them a little bit bigger, but I don't know. I don't know. Ain't that pretty? Aquarium fish. What this bait does right here, let's get over here and see if we can see it. It does the same thing that a Z-Man bait will do. This is made out of real tough material, even tougher than Z-Man. And what it does, okay, let's let it hit the bottom. When you pull it, watch it, it sits right back up. I don't know if y'all really can see that or not. I hope you can. But it'll stand right back up. It's just a little old bitty Ned rig. Let's make a cast back there and see. There's a fish. Golly. What do we got? My goodness. What in the world have I got? It's a bluegill. And a darn good one too. Look at there, what a bluegill, folks, from a creek. That fish fought now. Some of them will. Most of them will. There he goes. But the main thing about this kind of fishing, I need to really mention this. Don't use, or I don't. I mean, you can if you want to, obviously, but what I do is I try to use the lightest jig head that I can get by with. And a size 10 hook, you're just not going to miss many fish by using a size 10 hook. There's one, and got him. Well, I'll be doggone. I don't believe this, folks. Look at this. Oh, that makes me want to go back to crappie fishing. Crappie. He come out of there. That water is shallow, too. He come out of there like a bass. I was just reeling it across the... them limbs. See how shallow they are? Not even knee deep. And that crappie eat it up. What about that? I've caught all kinds of different species today. That's a black crappie too. What about that? Now this is usually good places right here. See this vegetation right here? Right in this area right here on the down current side usually is a great place to catch a fish, but I noticed, and I snuck up on it too, there wasn't a fish there, folks, not a one. Ooh. There was a big one right there. There he is, I got him too. What about that, folks? I spooked that fish, then he cut off down that way, and I made a long cast in front of him, and he actually grabbed that. This is a beautiful fish right here. This is a red breast sunfish, or red belly. I love catching these fish. Look at there, what a big old red belly. Ain't that pretty? I can't believe it. Now, I know I spooked that fish, but it wasn't enough to keep him from eating. That's a good bait. That's a natural looking presentation right there. I've had that happen before in the past, but ain't that a nice little fish? Let's let him go. I'm going to show you right here. This is his bed. Right there. That's where I spooked him from. They're real spooky right now because these creeks, like I said, are real low. But that's where he was. And he was mad. He'd come off of there. I made a cast in front of him a few feet, and he grabbed it. Ain't that cool? Now he'll come back on that bed. But that was interesting. Well, folks, I truly have got to get out of here. I've messed around once again. Fact, and I'm down here too far. I'm up the creek too far for my truck. But I'm gonna high step it and see if I can't get to it before this thunderstorm happens. But there's no doubt in my mind, light line, little baits, limber rod, little bitty reels, you'll have a lot of fun when it comes to fishing these creeks, folks. It'll make them all feel like they're about 5 pounds when in reality they're not. It's a great way to stay cool in the summer. I don't really have anything bad to say about creeks. I really don't. I want to say God bless each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for all the great comments, everything y'all do for this channel. Hey man, woo, woo, woo. And remember, go fishing when you can, because it's good for you.